instruments that are used in measurement. One is pyranometer and the second one is pyrheliometer. Okay. So pyranometer is an instrument used to measure the global radiation. Global means it will be the sum of direct and diffuse. Global or total both mean the same. So it is the sum of direct radiation and diffuse radiation. So direct radiation is the one which falls onto the earth surface without any disturbances. Diffuse is nothing but the scattered radiations which are entering into the earth surface. This we have discussed in the earlier classes. Okay, so this instrument can also be used to measure only the diffused. Okay, you can block the direct radiation, okay, using a shadow band, and you can measure only the diffuse radiation. So pyranometer can be used to measure either total radiation or diffuse radiation. For example, if you measure total radiation and diffuse radiation separately, obviously you can get the direct radiation. Why? Because direct radiation plus diffuse is equal to total. So this pyranometer is a flexible, you can measure any of the component. The second most important equipment that is used is pyrheliometer. Okay, so this is used only to measure the direct solar radiation. Okay, it is generally used with a tracking mechanism. Along with the sun's direction, it keeps on moving. Apart from this, there is one more equipment called as sunshine recorder. Okay, it doesn't give you any technical values, just we will get an idea what is the magnitude, whether sunshine is high or low during a period of time. Just the various parts. So this one, number one is a black surface, okay, which actually absorbs the solar radiation. Okay, it's a black metal strip. Over that, a glass dome is placed. Okay, it will concentrate the radiation, plus it avoids the formation of a dust layer or deposition of dust layer. So it will be completely covered. And 3 is called as a guard plate. So basically a guard plate which has a very high precision will be taken. On that, a black metal strip will be placed and it will be covered with a glass dome. Okay, then that guard plate will be mounted on a mounting plate, right? So this number 5 is a mounting plate. So this is a mounting plate. Okay, it will be placed on this guard plate will be placed on a mounting plate with the help of leveling screws. These are the leveling screws, so that you can maintain the exact horizontalness. Okay, it's not a rigid surface. With the help of the leveling screws, you can alter the leveling screws and you can maintain the exact horizontal direction. Finally, the entire setup is mounted on a platform so that it can be easily carried with the help of a grouted bolts. This will be prefixed. Okay, so you can fix it and you can bolt it. Okay, so once again I'll repeat. Okay, first there will be a black metallic strip. It will be covered by a glass dome and the entire assembly will be placed on a guard plate. The guard plate in turn will be placed on a mounting plate. Okay, why means to maintain the exact horizontalness. Okay, on the mounting plate with the help of leveling screws. There will be 2 leveling screws, exact level you can maintain. Okay, then the entire assembly will be mounted with the help of grouted bolts onto a platform. Okay, so this is the construction of the pyranometer. Sometimes they'll ask you to explain the principle of operation, then you have to draw the sketch, directly go ahead with the principle. Sometimes they'll ask you to explain the construction and working of pyranometer, then you have to explain the construction. These are the 7 important parts, followed by the working. Okay, now coming to the working part of the pyranometer. So coming to the working of pyranometer, I have shown a sketch here. So it will be easy for you to understand from this sketch. You can I'll once again brush up. This is the black plate, okay, over which a dome is placed. This is the dome region. Okay, so this is the mounting plate with the help of leveling screws. You can vary, and finally this is the platform. So these are the grouting bolts which we discussed. Okay, so it is all placed on a platform. Okay, the same sketch you can understand better with the help of it. Now, a pyranometer is an instrument used to measure the global. You can measure the total radiation, or by blocking certain surface, you can only measure the diffuse radiation. 1 second, please. Okay. So this device you can, as we discussed in the introduction part only, Either you can measure the total radiation or only the diffused radiation falling on a horizontal surface. Okay, it consists of a black surface. Okay, so this black surface is a very good conductor of heat. So as you know, any black body absorbs maximum quantity of heat. Okay, compared to other. For example, if your car is has a seat cover of black color, if you keep it in a sunshine, you can easily mention that the heat inside the vehicle will be more and the seats will be very hot. If it is of some other color, say white, it is a reflector, you don't find so much of heat. Okay, so that is why black color, it's a good absorber, so it is used here. Okay, what happens when the solar radiation falls onto that, the temperature of this black surface keeps on increasing. Okay, the next question arises is up to what level the temperature increases. Okay, until there is an energy balance. Okay, until there is an energy balance, the heat keeps on increasing. What do you mean by energy balance? The amount of heat entering this should be equal to the amount of heat leaving this. Until then, okay, it will not reach equilibrium, so temperature keeps on increasing. Okay, so that amount of heat entering is nothing but the solar radiation. Amount of heat leaving is the loss by conduction, convection and radiation. These are the modes of heat transfer. So conduction happens by direct contact, convection with the help of some medium, and radiation is the heat liberated. Okay, we will not discuss this in detail. So until the energy entering to the plate is equal to the energy outgoing to the plate, the temperature keeps on increasing. When the entry heat and the exit heat are same, then it is called as equilibrium. See, in simple terms, I can say the temperature of the plate increases until the black surface reaches the equilibrium. Okay, now you can see here the hot junction of thermopile. See, you have to measure the temperature basically. Then only you can find the how much amount of heat is absorbed by the collector. Correct. So how do you measure the temperature? You'll use a thermopile or a thermocouple. Okay, it should have 2 points. One is the source point where you measure the temperature. The other point should represent the room temperature or atmospheric temperature. Okay, then only say for example this is at 60 degrees and this will be at 30 degrees, for example atmospheric. The difference in temperature, you will get the amount of heat falling on it. Okay, so one end of this thermopile or thermocouple is connected to this black body and the second one is connected under a guard plate. Okay, we have discussed about the guard plate. This is the guard plate on which the black body is placed. Under this, okay, the second junction will be given. If you ask why, it should not receive any solar radiation. Okay, it should not be exposed to solar radiation so that it will measure the room temperature. Whereas the second junction will measure the black body temperature. Okay, I'll repeat once again. So one end of the thermocouple will be connected to here. See, you can see it is mentioned as T hot junction. Okay, and the other end is connected to the guard plate, underneath the guard plate, so that it does not get any radiation from the sun. Okay, as a result of the temperature difference between these two, an EMF will be generated by the thermocouple or the thermopile, whatever you are using. This EMF or voltage is directly proportional to the radiation of sun, solar radiation received. Based on the EMF, you can just judge how much radiation is received at that point. Okay, so usually it gives a EMF in the range of 0 to 10 millivolt. With the help of some calculations, you can convert it into the Langley per centimeter square. Okay, how many Langley per centimeter square or how much energy is absorbed? Please let me know, are you understanding? It's a very simple equipment. Just one black body is placed. Okay, to make the orientation, all these sophisticated all these components are added. To avoid the dust, this dome is added. Also, it helps in concentrating the radiation. You will use a thermocouple. One end of thermocouple is connected to the hot junction, other end to the cold junction. The difference in temperature, you will get an EMF. Based on EMF, you can calculate the solar radiation falling. Please just make a rough note. Any doubts you can ask at this stage, please. You can unmute yourself and discuss. I'll give you 2 minutes time. Just go through any doubts you can ask. Meanwhile, you can take down because these are the most expected questions. Okay, construction and working. Construction 2 to 3 points you can mention, and working 2 to 3 points. Working, just you have to mention about the thermopile, how it is used. The temperature difference will be converted to EMF. Through EMF, you can calculate the solar radiation falling.
Sir, how that cold junction is maintained, sir?
Sorry?
How that cold junction is maintained?
See, cold junction means, I'll just explain you. There is a guard plate here. Okay, I'll come up with the previous sketch. It will be easy. So this is a guard plate, correct? Okay,
Yes, sir.
here we attach one end of the thermocouple and here one end of the thermocouple. So what happens here? This end can detect only the atmospheric temperature. Okay, whatever room temperature is there, it can detect. It will not receive any solar radiation. It is completely isolated from the solar radiation. Radiation cannot enter and touch this end. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
One end is completely exposed to solar radiation, one end we have kept at an isolated point. So this will be taken as reference junction, or it is called as the cold junction. Okay, so this shows the room temperature. So it will already have certain atmospheric temperature. Minimum it will be 25 to 30 degrees depending on the location. It will sense that temperature only. But whereas this point will sense the temperature which is very higher. The difference in temperature will be sensed by the thermocouple and an voltage will be generated. Based on this voltage, you can calculate the amount of solar radiation falling. Is it clear? So if you maintain this cold junction somewhere here, okay, one end of the thermocouple, so usually it will be in terms of a metallic this thing, and there will be two connections. Say for example, one end you will connect and you will usually solder it here, the other end somewhere here. If you solder it here, what happens is this also receives some solar radiation. Okay, then if the original room temperature is 25, this may read some 30 or 35 because it is also receiving the extra energy apart from the atmospheric temperature, so that you may not get the correct values. So in order to avoid that, this is kept in isolated. Over a period of time, say 10 minutes, equilibrium is reached. By that time, this will sense only the room temperature, whatever is there. This will sense a very high temperature as the radiation is falling on that. Okay. So next, we will move to the next second fire heliometer. Just I'll give you a minute. Please make it fast. Take down fast. Fire heliometer. So coming to the construction of pyrheliometer, we have a tube. Okay, you can see in this sketch how the tube will be. The tube will be blackened inside. Okay, and there will be certain baffles. So whatever radiation is received, it will be reflected back many times, and finally it has to reach the black absorber plate. Okay, so alignment indicator. The third part is the alignment indicator. So it is just like in civil works, they'll use a level Mercalli level indicator, leveler. Okay, like that, so that it shows the exact alignment. Okay, so 4 is the black absorber plate. So this is the black absorber plate. Okay, thermocouple junction. 5 is the thermocouple, and there is a tracking mechanism, 2-axis tracking mechanism. So along with the sunlight, it will move from one end to the other end. For example, morning 6 a.m. it will be like this. When solar radiation is falling, when the sun is moving, so this also gradually moves, and it will reach the other extreme end by 6 p.m. Okay, once it reaches this end, automatically there will be a reset button. When it hits the reset button, again this goes back to its original position. You can see this is the tracking mechanism. It moves along with the sun. Okay, at the end of the day, it will be reset. So next day morning, again 6 a.m. it starts, again it keeps on moving. There will be a stepper motor used. So it has a tracking mechanism also. Okay. So this measure, as we discussed in the introduction, it can measure only the beam or diffused radiation. Okay, it can measure only a part of radiation. Okay, in contrast to a pyranometer, the black absorber plate, okay, with hot junctions of a thermopile, is attached to its base. Okay, the tube is aligned with the direction of the sun. With the help of the alignment indicator, it just keeps on moving. Okay, this black plate, whatever is there, it receives only beam radiation. Okay, and a small amount of diffuse radiation. You can see in the sketch, when the radiation falls here, direct or beam radiation can enter here. The diffuse radiation of low wavelengths will enter here. Through the baffle plates, they will be reflected many times, and they just vanish off. They cannot reach this black plate. Only the direct radiation of higher wavelength can come and reach the plate. Okay, so that you can measure only the direct radiation. So the added advantage of this attachment is it has a tracking mechanism. The last equipment is the sunshine recorder. It is the oldest one. Okay, so there will be a glass sphere, whatever globe you can see, a map globe which school children use for better understanding. To that shape, there will be a glass sphere. Okay, and there will be a spherical bowl on it. Okay, spherical bowl. So it will be mounted in this fashion. On the spherical bowl, we put a paper strip. We can put a paper strip. So this glass sphere, okay, will concentrate the radiation on this strip, so that wherever the radiation is higher, the paper strip will burn. At whatever time the radiation is low, the paper strip will not burn. Okay, it's a very simple equipment. A glass sphere followed by a spherical bowl will be there. On the bowl, there will be a groove to fit a paper. Okay, and it will be mounted with the help of grouted bolts on a marble base, so that high precision will be there. Okay, just I'll show you how that paper strip will be there and how it burns. See, this is the actual equipment. You can see the actual equipment. There will be a glass sphere. Okay, and there will be a spherical bowl on which you can place the paper strip. The paper strips will be of this kind. Okay, so when there is no sunshine, you can see here there are no burns on. This is the center line where you can find the burn. Okay, when there is no sunshine, there is no question of any burn. Here and there on some day, okay, there will be some burns. So during the winter season, at some part of the day, sunshine will be more. Rest of the time, it will be covered by clouds. You will get a strip like this. During March, April, where there is a core summer, you will get a continuous burn like this. Okay, it will not give you any readings, but it will give you an approximation of what is the radiation. When you just compare these 4 strips, in strip number 1, there is no radiation found. Strip number 2, very rarely found. Strip number 3, at regular intermittents, you can find the radiation. Strip number 4, usually in summer, you can find there is a complete radiation. During this strip number 4, such days you will get the maximum intensity. Here an average. First 2 cases, it's not suitable for harnessing the energy. It's a day-old equipment.